is Dwayne once again, recapping April the 3rd, 2012. As you can see from the bottom of my screen, and midnight is highlighted by the black vertical line. As you recall from the previous video, April 2nd, we had a sell signal that came in just, right here, right before the end of the day. And we said we'll go ahead and we'll mark that and we'll show it. We had a bearish trend. We had a trigger that pulled back to 13 and a quarter and dropped to 14.11, which created a 2.25 point profit before midnight Chicago time. I highlighted that only because I knew it was going to carry into the next day. Okay, so this little jib jab here before midnight, good for 2.25 points. By the way, some people only look for 2 points a day. If you want to know more about that, go to cfrn.net/apply and take advantage of our 1-week free trial, where you not only get to spend 2 hours a day for 5 trading days in our live Emini trading room, you also get to download the demo platform, the indicators, and you get live data, live real-time data, not delayed, for every E-mini market. S&P, Dow, Russell, NASDAQ, gold, all the metals, the lumber, livestock, you name it. If it's a futures market, you get the live data absolutely free for 1 full week just by taking the free trial by going to cfrn.net/apply. You get the platform, you get the indicators, you get the data, you get 10 hours of live instruction in real markets. I know you've all been to a lot of webinars, after hours, where you just look at historical charts. And granted, we're looking at historical charts right now. But as I show you these historical charts, I'm also inviting you to come and hang out in the live trading room so you can see this unfold in real time. Beyond that, I'm asking you to take the free trial, or inviting you to take the free trial, so that you can put this platform, these charts, this data, these indicators, the whole thing on your own computer, so that you know there's no smoke and mirrors. There's no funny business. Nobody's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. We're transparent. Okay? Bottom line. And the final day of this video series, which is the one I'm shooting right now, is going to show you, you've seen good day after good day after good day after good day. Okay. That's known as a high probability system filled with high probability setups. Okay? But is anything perfect? No. Are you about to see some imperfection? You are. You're going to see some choppy market action that traders who do well with whatever system they're using make some pretty good money, feeling pretty good about life, about themselves. They've already started to think beyond community college for the kids. Maybe state university. Who knows? Maybe Harvard. And then they hit a day with some bad volatility. And it's a real head scratcher. But how do you work hard for 2 months building your equity curve, and then in one session you give it all back? How does that happen? Well, I think you know how it happened. Well, you may not know the reason why it happens, but if you've been trading for any length of time, you've not only seen it happen, you've experienced it. Now, in this video series, have I shown you the tools that will help you stay out of the bad times? Just think about this. if you could experience the good days and stay out of the days where you did nothing but bang your head against the wall time after time after time, how would that change your equity curve? How would that change your long-term financial outlook? Pretty significantly, I think. Is there a way to do that? There are some ways. Are they easy? Are they simple? Well, they're not easy, but maybe they are simple. And these are the things that we teach you in the live trading room if you become a CFRN partner. In the live trading room, as a free trial, you get a taste of it, you get an idea. But it's when you become a partner and you're with us for 120 days and, man, you're in those Thursday night workshops, grinding it out with us. That's where you learn how to trade. There's a lot of guys on the internet selling Emini snake oil. You can buy it all day long and they'll take your money all day long. But, you know, give them a little bit of a litmus test. Can I watch you trade for a week before I buy? Can I use your platform and data for a week before I buy? Can I actually use your indicators for a week before I buy? Can you provide me with a real-time simulator so that I can shadow your trades for an entire week before I buy? I don't know of anyone that's going to say yes to all of that except us. I'm not bragging. I'm just stating a fact, okay? The fact is, we're not out to pull the wool over your eyes. We're just simply out to show you the truth about trading. We're willing to share with you the goggles that we've found over years of trading that if you put them on, suddenly you see things a little more clearly than you've ever seen them before. And we do it with some very simple indicators, proprietary. It's like a set of goggles. You put the goggles on and all of a sudden you see things you didn't see before. And you go, wow, how did I not see that? Well, it doesn't matter how you didn't see it before. The point is that now you do, right? Okay. This entry here carried across the midnight marker. If you cut it off at midnight, because that's how you do business, 2 1/4 points. If you stayed in the trade, down to 1407.75. It's late. I'm going to use my calculator. I don't even want to think that hard. 1413.25 minus 1407.75. 5.5 points. Okay. So you had 2.5 points prior to midnight. If you got in, you stayed in, and you nailed it all the way down to the tick. Now remember, that's how a lot of system vendors are going to tell you that when they do their report, when you ask them, you know, show me your blah blah. I want your chart and your pie graph, and I want all these other things. They're going to go, well, this was a 5.5 point trade. Was it? Was it really? I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that the entry on this trade, based on our setups, was 1413.25. There's no mystery. There's no riddle. There's no ambiguity. It's just a computerized fact. That's where it was. Was there a drawdown? Yes. If you got into that trade at 1413.25, you could have took 2 1/4 points here, but you said, nah, I'm going to write it out, because that's how I roll. Price ran up to 14.14. So you had a 3-tick drawdown. Fair enough. Price then drops 5.5 points. Is it possible to take 5.5 points out of a 5.5 point move? Yeah, if you're, I don't know, Karnak or Houdini or Chris Angel. See, this didn't provide secondary entries. So all you have is what it did. It did 2.5 points initially, but after the drawdown of 3 ticks, it actually went for 5.5 points. Now, because this is the last video of this series, I'm just going to take a minute to go 5.5 points times $50 per point equals $275 per contract. Now we're in the wee morning hours. Wall Street is not opened. We're still trading. If you're up and trading at this time, you're dealing with the Globex, the Euro session. But 5.5 points did make itself available. What's the chance that you nailed all 5.5 points? Slim to none. How are you going to know to get out right there? Now you may have some other thing going on. You may be able to look left. Let's see. 1407.75. Where was that important before? Right here. See how price turned down at 07.75? Struggled at 7.75. Finally broke it. But our method shows you that that's an important number. Still, I'm not going to stretch your imagination and tell you that this was a 5.5 point trade, because chances are you either got out before it hit 5.5 points, or once it closed back above the MA1, you probably said, man, I got to get out of this thing. Okay. So you could have had 5.5 points, but you freak out and you get worried. I mean, freak out in a good way. So now we're dealing with a different set of numbers. 13 and a quarter minus 14, 10, 25. I know you're laughing because I use a calculator to do that, but you know what? I got a lot of things going on. So let's say you let this thing pull back on you. You get a close way up here. Okay? And you say, man, I got to get out of this thing. Okay. You still made 3 points. All right. Trust me when I tell you there's no shame in 3 points. 3 points times $50 per point equals $150. Now, I know that some of you who watch this video go, well, come on, guy. I already know how to do math. I don't need this. But you know what? There's always new people coming along. There's people who don't have jobs that are trying to learn how to earn a living. So I'm really speaking to those people. If this is beneath you, you know, then move on. Go watch some other thing. Okay? I'm just trying to be honest and forthright and straightforward. So 3 points, $150 a contract, one contract. If you're trading 3 or 5 or 10 or 20 contracts, then you multiply that number times that. And that's not this whole move, that's just from here to here. I've already burned up 15 minutes, so I'm really going to get moving. And here's what happens next. If you buy the pullback, or if you sell the pullback here, in fact, for now, let me get these lines out of the way, because they don't matter at the moment. Here's the pullback. We're not going to count the multiple legs. We're not going to look at other indicators that might keep you out of the trade. We're just going to say, hey, it pulled back, I took the trade. People do that. Okay? That means you got long or short at 14.1075. If you got short at 14.1075, you had a drawdown to 14.13 and a quarter. Okay, let's do the math. 14.13.25 minus 14.10.75 equals 2.5 point drawdown. Guess what? We don't have a 2.5 point drawdown. This setup, this time frame, these indicators, we only tolerate a 2-point stop. So if you got long here, you guys stopped out. Okay? Now what happens? You get a bullish cross, get a little air, get a little pullback. Well, now it's time to go long. Where are you getting long? Right there at the pullback. 14.11 and a half. My concern is the drawdown. The drawdown is 14.0975. Let's do the math. 14.1150 minus 14.09.75 equals 1 3/4 points. Now what did I just say? I said that the maximum stop loss we utilize in this time frame with these indicators is 2 points. So if the drawdown is 1 3/4 points, that means you're actually still in this trade. As ugly as it looks, you got long here, things went sour, but potentially by 1 tick, you stayed in the trade. And the resulting high is 14.1375. So now from a 1 3/4 point drawdown that kept you in the trade, we're going to go 14.13.75 minus 14.1150, and that's going to give us a 2 2/4 point potential gain. Why do I say potential? Because I don't know if you took the trade. If you took it, I don't know if you stayed in it. Maybe the drawdown freaked you out when you got back to break even, you just bailed. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I just love saying all the stuff that none of the other guys ever say. God, I love that. Because I always tell you the truth. I just really enjoy that. So, okay. Stop out, pull back, hefty drawdown, 1 3/4 points. Ultimate potential net, 2 2/4 points. Okay. Maybe you only took 2 points. Yeah, maybe you got a point and a half. Maybe you took a point. 2 points a day is a really good living, however you get them. At the end of the day, if you've netted, even if you trade 10,000 E-mini contracts a day. Oh, by the way, yeah, we have a guy on the radio show that does that. A good day for him is 2 points. I know. You would think that a guy trading 10,000 contracts would get like 100 points. But look at the chart. The chart doesn't move 100 points. See? A good day for him. You can listen to his interviews, Michael X. A great day for him, 2 points. We have verified confirmation. Man has a seat on the exchange. A 2-point day for him, net after commissions and everything else. That's a banner day. And this is a guy who wakes up every morning with a goal of making $1 million a day. Does he make $1 million a day? He'll tell you no. But that's his goal. He has high expectations. But trading 10,000 contracts a day, if he makes 2 points a day net, he's a very happy camper. Okay? So whether you're trading 1 contract or 10,000 contracts, just keep that number in mind. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points. And if that 2 points is somehow evading you, and you start to look at your track record and go, man, if I'd have just been willing to settle for a point and a half, I'd have been golden, 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 golden. Okay, maybe that's your rhythm. I don't know. Or maybe you start to look at your 2 point, 2 point, 2 points and go, you know, I actually could have had 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. See, we can teach you the basic setups. We can teach you how to use the indicators. We can teach you our methodology. But our goal is to teach you how to trade. So ultimately, you're going to learn how to put this all to work. And you're going to come to the partners meetings on Thursday night and say, guys, look what I've done. You're going to break out a chart. You're going to break out the indicators. And you're going to go, I've been doing this, this, and this. And look at what I've done. And you'll be our hero of the week. We should probably get a trophy or a t-shirt or a hat or something for that. But in the meantime, we'll just call you hero of the week. Okay. What happens next? We get a 2 1/4 point potential profit. Price pulls back. And if you buy this pullback right here at 14.1150, you get stopped out. How is it that I can speak so casually about getting stopped out? Because I've been trading for a long time and I understand that that's part of the business. If you don't understand that, you really need to go read Trading in the Zone. Okay? Written by Mark Douglas. That book will literally set you free. That and our indicators and our methodology. But let's move on. Okay. So you took the long. You got stopped out. You get a bearish cross here. Now you see this? That's a nuance. That's see here, I would have to see a down close before I participated in that. But because we're doing this video series a little bit differently, we're just going to say because it pulled back to the BBC right there, without looking at any other of our indicators or understanding our methodology, you just said, heck, I'm pulling the trigger, man, I'm going short. You got stopped out. The market moves higher. It's a bullish cross. There's a pullback. The pullback's to 14.1150. Runs to 14.14 and a quarter. 14.25 minus 14.11.50. 2 3/4 points. Okay. Bullish cross, pullback. Now, this is a nuanced type trade. I'm not going to put any points up here. I understand how to trade this, but you might not based on what you've seen in this video series. So I'm not gonna knock it out as a loss because price traded above the MA1. We had a bullish cross. It just so happens that the pullback was right at the bullish cross. Now I'm going to tell you something. Not everybody knows this. Well, partners know this. That's what I call the sweet spot. I love that trade. Okay. But I'm very aggressive with my risk management because it can come back to bite you pretty quick. Got to be on your toes. If you come take the free trial, cfrn.net/apply, I'll teach you that. Okay? All right. To get it out of the way, I'm not going to count it as a winning trade. I'm just going to say, hey, there it went. But I'm going to call this a losing trade. I'm being just brutally honest, okay? Because that's what people need. Price pulled back to here. And if you got long, you got stopped out. You had a 2-point stop out. Now, on this day, we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 stop outs. Go back to the previous 6 days of this video series and see how many stop outs there were. We've probably had as many in this one day as we've had in the entire series. What if a person could avoid trading in that area? Would that be beneficial? It would. Can we help you with that? Can we show you a few things? We can. All right. Here's a bearish cross. Price drops. Oh, man, does it drop. And you just want to be in that trade. Once you get the bearish cross, could you be short here, 14.11? You could. Can we teach you how to do that? We can. Will we teach you how to do that? Become a partner. But for the sake of this video series, we're just going to go down here to the basic pullback, bearish cross, all these points go by. We got to wait for the pullback because we're not using anything else, none of the other indicators, not the cycle, not the DMT, not the slingshot, not the combo. It's a couple humble little indicators. Pullback is to 14.08. This is where you go short. Right there. Got it? That's where you short the market, 14.08. Now, what happens? Price pulls back to 14.09.5. You sweat bullets for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. How much time was involved in that sweating? 11:46 to 1,300 hours? Do you have that patience? Do you have that discipline? I don't know. I can teach you the indicators. I can teach you the setups. I can teach you the methodology. I can teach you how to put on and take off trades. Can I teach you discipline? I can try, but you probably needed a guru or learn how to sit or do something. See, part of this has to come from within. Okay, if you have the right tools on the outside to work with, then you can turn that inward and you can have some great results. So anyway, here's the pullback, here's the drawdown, 1.5. You're still in the trade because we use a 2-point stop on every one of these trades in this time frame using these setups. Okay? What happens after that? What's the payoff? What's the payola? What do you get for your trouble? Well, the initial move down, remember you got in here at 1408. Price sold off to 1450. Call it 1401. 7 points. I don't know what your daily goal is, but for most people, remember a guy that trades 10,000 contracts a day, he's really happy if he makes 2 points a day. This trade generated 7 points. Now let's say you took your trade off here at the 7 points, and then you got a pullback, and you understood, because of what we teach you, that this is a bearish setup here. Maybe you went out on a limb, you got short at 14. Yeah, let's draw it down. Let's make it. Let's say you got short. You know what? Let's say you got short at 1403 at the close of the red candle. Okay. From 1403 minus 1399.50. Try that again. 1403 minus 1399.50. 3.5 points. So there's a 7-point drop on the short side, followed by a 3.5-point drop. Had you just stayed in it, yes, you'd have got the 10.5. But I got to keep saying, what's the possibility that you're going to get in at the exact high? Oh wait, pretty good. Well, you didn't get in at the exact high, but you got in at the. You knew the entry to the tick. You knew. I can't say that enough. When you trade our system, the entry is never ambiguous. It's to the tick. It's exact. Where you get out, that's up to you. Man, I've made 2 points. That's my daily goal. I'm just going to cut it. Okay. Or you could drag your stop down to, let it go 2.25 and drag it down to 2. Worst case is you end up with your 2 points. If it just keeps dropping, you add something to the bank. Okay. Let's move on. Let's get this day finished. So, this pullback here generated 3.5 points. This pullback here generated, you already know, 0 points. If you follow what we teach you, you didn't lose a lot waiting on this thing to turn around and come back down. You got stopped out for exactly 2 points. Period. See, that's the problem. Well, they go, well, you know what? It's been a down day. It's going to keep falling and the blah, blah. You know what? Yeah, I got short here. But you know what? Man, this thing's going to turn around. In fact, look, here it is turning around. It's going to make me whole. I'm sorry. if your entry was right here on the pullback, you came within one tick of getting made whole. If you sweated all that out, good Lord, that's more. You drew down more points than most people look to make in a day. Okay, so why not just take your 2-point hit, be done, wait for the next setup, because you get a really good one right here. You get the standard CFRN issue, bullish cross, the standard pullback. The entry is 1403.75 to go long. Right here. Okay. The drawdown is 1402.50. So what do you get? A 1.25 drawdown, and then price runs to 1409. So we know that based on the amount of the drawdown, we stayed in the trade. We did not get stopped out based on our 2-point stop loss that we use on every trade in this time frame with this setup. You did not get stopped out on this entry. You sweated it a couple bars. You had a drawdown. You know what? You need to learn to expect a drawdown on every trade, because that's just kind of the truth about trading. The trades where you have no drawdown, count yourself blessed. This is realism. Okay. Price takes off, goes to 1409. Let's do the math. 1409 minus 1403.75. It's 5.25 points. $5.25. Okay. From here to here, it's $250 on one contract. For once, I'm going to do the math for you. 5.25 times $50 equals $262.50. If you're trading one contract, this entry, this little drawdown, this move, if you nailed it right at the high, which let's face it, you didn't, okay, could be $262.50. If you're trading 10 contracts, that's $2,600. But let's face it, you probably didn't nail this high. Oh wait, unless you looked over here to the left and saw that previous swing high and you said, ooh wee, I'm getting out here. These are the things we teach you in the live trading room. Okay? If you become a CFRN partner, you'll learn a little bit of it if you take the free trial. If you become a partner, well, you'll learn everything we know. Now, we get a drawdown to the BBC at 1407.25, and if you took that trade long, why would you go long? Well, the BBC is above, I'm sorry, the MA1 is above the BBC, and I'm showing you the most basic setups without any kind of qualifiers. No slingshot, no combo, no cycle, no DMT, no weekly trading zones. I'm just showing you price action, really, with the special CFRN goggles on. The goggles are very important. Here, you get stopped out. For how much? 2 points. Trading these setups, you're never going to get stopped out for more than 2 points. Can you get stopped out for less than 2 points? Sure. And if you just buy this thing and you see it starting to collapse, could you get out before it falls to? Yeah, you could. Do you have to let it hit your hard stop? You don't have to. But again, we get into the finer points of the trading methodology, and that's for the partners. That's what we teach. That's why it costs you a few bucks to learn how to trade. Okay. Now, what happens? After this stop out, there's a bearish cross. There's no pullback, and the market drops from 1406 all the way down to 1395. 11 points without a pullback. Does that happen? Do you sometimes just have to live with that? Yes. Or do you become a partner and learn how to trade this? See, we have a method that would get you into this trade right here. You could scoop some, all, most, part of this 11-point move. Okay? These aren't the setups I'm showing you in this video series, but let's face it, 11-point drop, and yes, we know how to take that trade. Now, as you can see, we've already crossed into April 4th, and I'm not ready to do the video recap of that day, but you can already see what's happening. Price pulls back after this long drop with no entries. It pulls back to 99.25. And over the next 3 bars, no, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over the next 5 bars, it drops to 95.50. So 1399.25 minus 1395.50, 3 3/4 points. Okay, but we'll get into that on the day that we actually recap the 4th. Just want you to see it. It's coming up. And oh my goodness, I've run 42 minutes on this video. I'm getting longer instead of shorter. I may have to go into counseling. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following this video series. Tomorrow I'll do 2 videos. We'll be caught up to date. And then each day there'll be 1 video that recaps that day's activity. Okay? Actually, it'll be 1 day behind because I always want to show you the 24-hour period. Because many of the CFRN partners are around the globe. So what we view as the session, the day session, the Wall Street session, that's not what those guys are trading. So that's why I feel it's important to show every setup that occurs during the 24-hour session. So thanks for watching. I hope you become a partner. But your first step is to simply take the free trial. Download the platform. Use the data, use the indicators, spend 10 hours with us in live markets, trading, asking questions, being a part of the community. Then you make a decision if you want to become a partner. Okay? Go to cfrn.net/apply.
Back